My name is Alice Lombardo. I'm a teacher in the inner city. Sit down, please. In the inner city in Rochester, New York. This is my 29th year of teaching. So I don't know how long you've been in your career, but I'm sure you've seen changes. And right now, we're at the apex of something has to get done for these kids. This is the story of my experience with the stress relief, the breathing, breath, body, and mind with my kids. And it's also the story of me and how I need to recover from those little energy vampires. Just to set the stage and let you know that I'm not teaching in a privileged area, this is a picture of my school right here. It went under a multi-million-dollar school renovation. There's a medical and dental facility attached, and there's our very strong neighborhood advocates. Our neighborhood, however, has the most abandoned and lead-positive properties in the city. We are in the center of the lowest socioeconomic developed area in our city. We have a mobile population, frankly, because if rent isn't paid and they're evicted, they just, or are on the process of being evicted, they move somewhere else. And a very high crime rate. This is the corner, our school sits right over here, and this is the corner where just 2 months ago there was a shooting, and the man passed away. So we're dealing with 760 kids, and they're from pre-K to 8th grade. There's at least 25, that's the average, 25 children in one class, and that's with one teacher. We are at 97% below poverty, so most of the kids get free breakfast and free lunch. We have high levels of lead. My principal at this time has come out of retirement. He was working with the city and health officials to proclaim certain areas, that needed to be, lead needed to be removed from those premises and the effect that they have on children. We have a high addiction rate, alcohol and drugs. As a matter of fact, right outside school, you can buy anything you want. We have social and emotional needs for kids. These kids have no idea how to interact with each other. Talk about being disconnected. We have some lack of strong family support because there's so much stress out there that these single parent families are falling apart. We have some lack of value in education, so already the kids are coming back into school with, my mother doesn't care if I do this, so why should I do this? And then, of course, there's all around us visual, drug, and alcohol abuse. If we don't find baggies on the playground, kids smuggle alcohol in tea containers, so we've got to be very careful. As a matter of fact, they are 7th and 8th graders have to go through with metal detectors and a bag search. However, they give younger kids the contraband, and so once they get into the school, they either get the younger kids locker combinations or come and pick up whatever. So in addition to that, I have 10 to 13-year-olds in one classroom. So I have either no repeaters, or second-time repeaters. There's immaturity and very angry kids. These are kids that go off in a second. We have lots of behavior issues, and we have rival gang members within the same classroom. So when we started with the breathing, and last year my class was not as challenging, and they bought in a little easier. I have to introduce these things after I've established the culture. And so we begin with little baby steps. And I love this poster. This is from the Dalai Lama. If every 8-year-old in the world is taught meditation, we will eliminate violence from the world within 1 generation. So we start off and we think, well, why do we breathe? Well, miss, we gotta breathe because like we die. Okay, why else do you breathe? I breathe when I think. Okay, so what do you feel like before you breathe or after you breathe? When you're angry, how do you calm down? So all of these things come into play. And then we say, okay, this coherent breathing, let's try it out. Now, I got the big tough guys, the ones who've repeated twice that are bigger than me. And they sit there and go, I ain't doing this. And so all the other kids are looking at them and going, I ain't doing it either. You know, we've got a lot of followers. But as things progress and as I ignore some of that negativity, they kind of buy in a little bit, little by little. And I've actually caught some of the bigger, huskier guys going, and then they open their eyes, they see me, and I'm smiling, and they're like, oh, I ain't doing this. But we go through it. And so we started with the introduction of the 5 beats per minute after we've just breathed, you know, for a while. This is from October 2nd, my breath, body, and mind class. We do ragdoll. They love that, but they call it the doll dance. So, and they always ask for, hey, miss, can we do the doll dance? I need the doll dance. I got to do it now. I'm like, okay, let's do. So one of the focuses on the Common Core is to express learning as a learning target. So our learning target, and it's posted in my classroom, is that I can center myself and de-stress using breathing techniques and meditation. So this is more advanced. I've had these kids for 4 weeks now, and this is our agenda. It kind of looks sort of like what we do here, or, you know, so continue. When they venture out on their own, some of the most wonderful connections that I've heard them say is, guess what, miss? I meditated with my dad, it should say dad, last night, and he liked it. So what I'm doing is also enabling kids to make connections with their parents or maybe their cousins, or everybody's related, by the way, in the ghetto. Everybody's brother and cousin and mama and sister and auntie. One of the kids taught his little brother to meditate so he can get over his stress. And so students have taught breath, body, and mind techniques. Of course, they're not certified, but any type of breathing is going to help. They've taught to families and friends. They have began to go on the journey of understanding themselves and looking within for that confidence, that power, that resourcefulness. And then they also are teaching younger students breath, body, and mind techniques. I farmed out 2 of my best. These are the kids that are always ready to meditate. I don't have a problem with these guys. And they went down to the kindergarten class, and they actually led the meditations for the kindergartners. Kindergartners know how to center. They know how to sit and center themselves. And so my kids taught them that, and they took them through a guided meditation that they had written. And it was just, you know, it was just like a stretch. It was outside of their comfort zone. So, and when they came back, they shared it with you could see the glow, the appreciation that they had on their faces.